All right, welcome to another episode of the Average Pastor Podcast. I'm Mark here with some pastor friends, Jake and Jeff. And Jake's back again on this one. So yay for that. We do want
with the old, in with the new.
we do want to start with some.
I missed one.
You missed one podcast, and here you are. Oh,
by the way, we are in the dungeon study. It's on my back porch.
Yeah.
Storming.
Had some storms.
I think it's
blowing
through.
We could have had our first ever tornado on the fireport. It was close. I mean, there was.
Yeah, we're still waiting for that. We had a kids camp this morning, and the tornado warning went off. So all had to huddle in the classrooms.
Yeah. So here we are in the basement. We do have some sponsors that we want to tell you about. So, let's see. Our first one is.
Okay, should we make this clear? By sponsors, there's actually no monetary. We haven't actually gotten any money from these people.
Sure.
We just are giving them credit for.
If you
what do we call
change it from sponsors to supporters, I think my wife said good luck when I left. So a supporter.
We had our friend Carl brought us some Golden Delight Bakery. So we got I was like, oh man, that bear claw, that looks great. And Jake corrected me. That's
a apple fritter.
Yeah.
You gotta know your pastries.
Yeah,
that was a great box of pastries.
Look at that.
You guys may be able to talk Russian literature, but I can talk pastries. So if you have any questions,
do the Amish people making the pastries listen to the podcast?
I don't know. I know this is from Golden Delight Bakery in Kelowna, Iowa.
Is that an Amish bakery?
Yeah, Amish bakery.
There's no lights. The ceiling fans go because how do they? Is it by wind or something? Solar?
I feel like
somehow they've got this pulley system. So, you can see this pulley system that moves the fans. And everything.
That's just the Average Pastor Podcast. Like our sponsors don't even know that they're sponsoring us.
Just being nice and bringing pastries.
They don't listen.
Yeah,
they don't know.
In fact, they would maybe pull their sponsorship had they known that they were sponsors.
I mean, Amish are plain. We're average. Like it's a step above. I mean, look at these flashy colors and stuff.
Yeah. Well, and our other sponsor, I'm still here in my Pulisic soccer jersey, but I did think, Jeff, if it gets cold in your house, because sometimes it does.
It does.
I got my sweatshirt, and this is actually our other sponsor, the Pour Over.
Yep.
Yeah, they got us the average. We gave them an average
sweatshirt.
Yeah. No, so I'm actually really stoked about that. Went to their merch shop.
I got their I don't know what color you'd call it, moss green, light green. I don't know what color green it is. Kind of a funky green one. So
yeah,
thanks.
The Pour Over.
Appreciate it.
Get your news.
And a sweatshirt.
Yeah. Our friends over at the Pour Over. And any other sponsorships that you just want to...
Marcy. Yeah, Marcy said good luck.
Marcy sponsored us.
She's a supporter. She's moral support.
Long time no listener.
But long time supporter.
Dude, I'll throw out this guy would surely not be a sponsor, I don't think, Well, I don't know why I just said that. He doesn't know that he's a sponsor is what I should say. So here's what happened. One of our elders, Dave Hicks, he has this really cool leather bag, like this messenger bag or whatever. I'm like, dude, that just smells. I can smell the leather from here. It looks cool, rugged. And he's like, oh yeah. I told me the story about this guy who was a missionary down in Mexico, found this Mexican guy that did hand leather works. Long story short, has ended up making it. It's a 4 business thing that he's got going, this Leatherworks thing, but he donates to all these orphanages and stuff. Right? It's a pretty cool deal. So I took Dave with me to Zambia this last time, and he brought me a leather, like a handmade leather, like a little pouch with a strap that goes around. There's a word for satchel, I guess, like a small thing, It's just perfect for travel. And so, it's awesome. Well, now I'm caught. Now I drank the Kool-Aid. So I went on their website, and I've been wanting, I've got a new writing project kind of taking birth in my head. So I wanted a a journal that I would want to have with me all the time. So as ideas came, I could write them down, etc. But I'm one of those guys. I kind of want it in place, you know? So I went on there like, well, they just happened to be coming out with a brand new line. This leather journal cover by Saddleback Leather Company is the J.R.R. Tolkien journal cover. Is that crazy? No of all the, you know, yeah. So it's Italian leather. Feel that.
Yeah.
It just feels
it's
really
just a
nice.
Journal. It's just,
yeah. And then see, that's the insert.
Oh, you just buy the
insert.
Bought that separate. Yeah.
You get whatever insert. You can get a softback, hardback, whatever.
But you went and bought this.
Yeah. So I bought it and brought it on.
So like our sponsor time turned into show and tell. Like we just get like new cool stuff.
Isn't it cool?
It is, yeah. That is cool.
And the inside is like, I can't remember what kind of.
So you just Google Saddleback Leather Company?
I guess so.
What that is.
Isn't that beautiful though?
I love
There's just something about natural stuff and, organic, I guess, materials like leather that I think, like this thing will last forever. It will get nicked and scratched and beaten around because I'll take it to Africa with me. I'll take it everywhere. You know what I mean? And so anyway.
That's cool.
Wow. Man. Well, all kinds of sponsors
I know
thrown out there.
I think we've lost the definition of sponsor.
Wait,
it's just stuff we like.
I just got new shoes. I don't know.
Yeah, tell me stuff we like.
But we're fishing. We're fishing for sponsors. That's what this segment has become. Yeah, we're still working on G-Defy. They're gonna come in. They're gonna come in strong. Saddleback. Let's go.
Get your orthopedic shoes. Get your news. What else do you need to get? Get your jersey. No, this came from
So it's paid full price.
The U.S. men's national team might sponsor us.
Sure.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, totally.
Of course they will.
So we are going to have a discussion on, let's see, what do you want to talk about?
Wait, do we get a choice?
Do we get a say in this?
Newfound power. I don't.
Anything you want to talk about?
The ball just got thrown into my hands. I'm like, wait.
I can't carry that ring. I'm here, but that's your burden to bear.
But I can carry you.
Maybe we'll destroy it someday.
Oh, we are okay. We are getting into. Let's see. I'll start with this. So I needed it's following I started The Pastor by Eugene Peterson to kind of detox from some temptations toward being an amazing pastor. So that's always keeps me grounded. This is this is what you're supposed to be about.
Does that tempt you a lot? Like it's just out of reach.
All I'd have to do, just one little stretch.
And I could so easily fall into being amazing.
We would be mocking him so much.
You guys don't even know what happened today. You do not even know what happened today.
It's true, we don't.
What happened today is that someone emailed us. Actually, we know who emailed us. Brian emailed in. And listen to this, dude. There is a pastor down in Florida who has read The Average Book.
Wow.
And not only that, but read it and recommended it to his staff.
No way.
And so Brian emailed to let us know that. And I'm like, I mean, come on, I am on the verge. There. I'm on the brink of something really special, Jake.
I know. Pretty soon it's just going to be me and the camera, and welcome back to another episode.
I'm secure behind Jeff in that, so I'm still.
Oh my word!
You're not like your student of the year or whatever. What was your Midwestern or? Faculty of the year, alumni
of the year.
Yeah. Well, we're Jake. Come on, this is the whole thing. We're aspiring to be average. We have not yet attained this great goal. Our hearts are constantly drifting toward trying to be a big deal.
Are you aspiring upward to be average or downward to be average?
That is the crush. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I just have to escape this greatness I've been plagued with.
I've been trying to be a big deal, trying to be amazing. So Eugene Peterson and J.R. Tolkien often keep me grounded. Here's just let me give I forgot about this. It's just like page 1 of Lord of the Rings, and the description of the hobbits is just hilarious. I was like, yes, this is the gold standard. Listen to this. Hobbits are an unobtrusive but very ancient people, more numerous formerly than they are today, for they love peace and quiet and good-tilled earth. A well-ordered and well-farmed countryside was their favorite haunt. They do not and did not understand or like machines more complicated than a forge bellows, a water mill, or a hand loom, though they were skillful with tools. Even in ancient days, they were, as a rule, shy of the big folk, as they call us. And now they avoid us with dismay and are becoming hard to find. They are quick of hearing and sharp-eyed, and though they are inclined to be fat and do not hurry unnecessarily, they are nonetheless nimble and deft in their movements. They possessed from the first the art of disappearing swiftly and silently when large folk whom they do not wish to meet come blundering by. They are a little people, smaller than dwarves, 2 to 4 feet tall. Their faces, as a rule, were good-natured rather than beautiful, broad, bright-eyed, red-cheeked, with mouths apt to laughter, and to eating and drinking, and laugh they did, and eat and drink often and heartily, being fond of simple jests at all times, and of 6 meals a day when they could get them. They were hospitable and delighted in parties and in presents, which they gave away freely and eagerly accepted. Yet it's clear that hobbits had, in fact, lived quietly in Middle-earth for many long years before other folk became even aware of them. And the world being, after all, full of strange creatures beyond count, these little people seemed of very little importance. But in the days of Bilbo and Frodo his heir, they suddenly became, by no wish of their own, both important and renowned, and troubled the counsels of the wise and the great.
Wow. James, can you look up unobtrusive? I'm trying to think of, like, isn't that the word he used way at the very beginning?
Mm-hmm.
They were an unobtrusive, like not.
Yeah.
An adjective describing something or someone that is inconspicuous, modest, or not easily noticed.
Okay.
Yeah. Little people that troubled the counsels of the wise and the great. How would you explain that?
Like the unlearned, you know what I mean?
Unlearned men, yeah.
I don't know. There was something about
like
that.
Didn't see that coming. That's
it.
The great evil powers were shocked or troubled because they never saw that coming. Like from those little people, those unobtrusive.
Yeah. And I love that they suddenly became, by no wish of their own, both important and renowned. Mm. That's what I just find so cool and fascinating is how God blesses people and does make, like Moses. Mm-hmm. Moses. God made him one of the greatest men that ever lived. Mm. And he was, and it says about him, like no one on earth was more humble than Moses.
Right.
What would it have been like to meet Moses? Or, I mean, I just think about David, the shepherd boy. You can go on, but it's it's our whole ambition of pursuing this way, like being little people.
Yeah. And using the weak to shame the wise or the strong.
Well, I love how through that book, toward the very end of book 1 that you've got there in your hands, Galadriel, that's such a long, important moment in the book because Galadriel, who actually does have great power, like a kind of magical power, elven power, when offered the ring, contemplates it and then chooses not to grab the ring. So every victory is that they don't grab for power. You know what I mean? Like the greatest valiant moments that have you holding your breath. No. Come when they actually don't grab the ring and therefore become the most powerful, but are able to resist the power of the ring. And then, because, you've got another character there that does the opposite, falls falls to the prey of the
his description of even of them, their faces were, as a rule, good-natured rather than beautiful. None of them were that beautiful, but good-natured. So and there says, with mouths apt to laughter, like always on the verge of a laugh, of a smile, of a, that's such a great, that's so well written.
That's so well written.
Beautiful, beautiful description. I just thought, man,
there is that contrast of, if they're not beautiful, but good nature or whatever. My mind went to, not Russian literature, but the Red Green Show on what's the guy say all the time of like, if they can't find you handsome, they better find you handy. What would you say to a pastor? Like, if they can't find you, excellent or brilliant, they better find you, like, to the congregation. Like, if you're saying that to the pastor, hey, if you're not exceptional, they better find you what? Like, what's the...
Wow.
What do you have any ideas? If they can't find, so the original quote is, if they can't find you handsome, they better find you handy.
I think if they can't find you brilliant, they better find you caring. There's
that's a good
something
one.
Like that, or like there's
keep it going. You're riffing on that. I like that.
Done riffing.
Even just, our last episode, faithful.
Yeah,
you know what
faithful.
I mean? Like faithful.
They better find you faithful.
Mm-hmm.
If they can't find you funny, they better find you faithful.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. There you go. You're gonna try to find a wait here.
It's your turn, Jeff.
I just came up with the faithful.
Oh yeah, the one that I used.
Happened like 30 seconds ago.
Jeff is apt to laughter. I love that. Oh, we need a little more of that going on.
I fear that I passed it on to my children, and one in particular. I was actually listening. Teresa had videoed or something. She was with our kids, and I heard this laughter, and I thought, I wasn't there. I thought it was me.
Oh,
I thought it was me.
Cool. Yeah.
Was it Colin?
It was actually Seth at that point. Yeah, both those two tend to have the same.
I feel like Colin's got a
curse of a laugh, but they do.
No,
they both got
I don't know that anybody has ever put your laugh and a curse in the same sentence. So that's great. But yeah, so we, I mean, it's been a while, so we need to add Lord of the Rings to our sponsorships. If we're
yes,
if we're
sponsored by the Lord of the Rings,
J.R.R. Tolkien,
his estate,
been long dead.
Yeah, his estate. Yeah,
the Prancing Pony.
I'll reach out to him.
This episode's brought to you by the Prancing Pony. If you call in, you get 20% off on an appetizer.
Yep. Oh. It comes in pints.
Yeah. You got to try their orc bites. They're amazing.
The orc bites.
So James, are you gonna call the Tolkien estate?
I'm gonna do that
and see if we can get some sponsors.
I'll
Google it.
Has Nate Bargatze calling it? Is he calling in today?
Not yet. Not today.
Not today.
Yeah.
Just leave the phones open.
Right
you never know.
Watching the phones.
I think I must have missed it. Yeah.
Nate Bargatze is coming to Cedar Rapids.
Yeah,
and
tomorrow.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Are you going?
We should have had him on today.
Dude.
And by tomorrow, if you're listening to this podcast, we mean 3 weeks ago.
Seriously, though.
Sorry, you missed
it. Nate, if you're listening, that's our bad.
Totally.
That's on us.
That's on us.
Yeah. This episode comes out July 6th, right after the 250th. That weekend. So, yeah, people will probably be off when this comes. But we already riffed on that last time. So Jeff and I need some help. I need some help, Jake, from you.
I was feeling alone there, so.
Because you don't need any help.
You don't need any help. Okay. I'll say this. Okay. If you're writing a book called The Average Church, and that book has 6 chapters, what are the chapters in your average church book?
This is also going to be a sermon series.
Well, I was gonna hide that. I was gonna just say, and why are there 6 chapters in this book?
I took it. I didn't mean to steal that. Didn't mean to steal that. But as it turns out, I was doing the teaching schedule in there. So Jake, we're counting on you, as we often do.
We're doing a teaching series called The Average Church in 6 weeks. And so, and the timing of this is it's right before we move into our new auditorium.
Yeah.
And so it's a great time to remember who we are, who we want to be, the average church.
Because to be fair, I'm going to give you even more time to think about our whole sermon series. Get all 6 points and we'll be ready to count them. But I got to say, I think our new auditorium is above average. I really do. I want to just give credit.
Think? Yeah.
I want to just give credit. The people that designed and built that, it's still not done. It's still, I've paid so little attention. So every time I go back, it just seems like there's leagues forward, compared to when I'd been. I just want to say, and James, you've been a big part of that, of helping on the design end of things.
Hey, I'm going to take a drink out of my water bottle here. Right? If you zoom in really close, you can see sponsor. Hodge Construction. There you go.
Not another sponsor.
Keep fishing.
But by fishing, is it phishing? Is that fishing?
I mean, that's like a way to that? Scam people.
It's like
that's scamming.
No, we are fishing with an F.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm just
fishers of men and sponsors.
I'm glad you qualified because I thought maybe we're doing the illegal stuff. No,
we should try that though.
Yeah, keep going. Scamming people.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, I just want to say that I think that's the reason this series is even more important, is because I think that it's been beautifully done. It's not ostentatious. It's not, glamorous. It's just so well done. It fits who we are so well. And I'm incredibly grateful that we're getting it. You know what I mean? But very thankful. So anyway, but that's why this series, I think we want to lock into. It'd be like if the same family got to move into a bigger house or something, you know what I mean? And you're really grateful for that house, but you're like, I don't want this house to change us. I want this same family just to be able to be more of who we are, but a little bit more elbow room. So that's why it's a good series.
Was that enough time for you to think of a chapter?
I'm thinking of like a book. You're thinking of a sermon series?
Well, it's
Yeah. All right. Here's what I would do.
Mark's book. Veritas.
Right, here's what I would do, and it would be a really cool book for you to write if you the average. I would do a chapter, The Average Pastor. I'd do a chapter on the average elder team. I'd do a chapter on the average Sunday. I'd do a chapter on the average church member. I would do a chapter on the average kids ministry. And I don't know. That's 5.
Oh man, I don't even know if I was breathing. I was like, this is unbelievable.
I thought of kids ministry because I think sometimes we just try to go Disney World. Like we're just trying to, like, what does it look like to really be intentional about teaching kids the word of God? And but then like the average church member, what do we want to be a good member of a church?
Yes.
And then Sundays, like you're not here to just be entertained. And so the average church Sunday, congregational singing, preaching of the word, like this is what we get together and do. And the average elder team, we're not a board overseeing an organization, like we're shepherds that are, and then the average pastor, you've talked a lot about that in different traits. So yeah, there's 5.
I wonder if the 6th one could be something. I don't know how to put it in the average church. Well,
you guys can't do the average auditorium. That would be hypocritical.
True. Yeah, it's true. But something about mission, something about the mission outside of these walls. You know what I mean? Because that's the other danger, I think, is, here we are. We've got our nice new bigger house. Let's make this all about us. And even Mark coming back from Thailand and everything.
Is it blasphemous to do the average mission? Because isn't it like the Great Commission?
It is the Great Commission.
got to think that one through. But there's some, but I feel like that's got to be
the
like we don't want
church's Great Commission.
Yeah. Right.
So how do you go about that?
Yeah.
Average discipleship.
Mm-hmm.
It came up with, I was just thinking of some ideas because I have all these book ideas and then I start them as just a Google Doc, and that's the name of the book, The Average Church. And these were some of the things in there. Well, the first one is just the question, what is the church?
Mm-hmm.
So in there you have, maybe you get into the church is God's big idea from Ephesians 3, 1 Timothy 3 of, his intent was that now through the church, the manifold wisdom of God should be made known. And then the church, which is the pillar and foundation of truth, from I think 1 Timothy 3. And so you just get into what is the church. Give me a quick riff on how you would answer that question, or what would be a part of that sermon, or what would your tension be in that? Because my tension, I was thinking of like my fears of like Disney church, where it's like churches as entertainment, or Apple church, which would be like church as a business. What else? But what is those are some tensions you can feel. Church as gathering people and entertaining.
I think
people.
Another one is just the sports bar church. Church is just a social club. It's just about socializing.
Yeah, that's good. So what is it then? How would you respond to those things? What is the church? What would you want to, like, kind of a big idea of what you'd want to communicate?
Man, maybe I should have read your text message.
Well, we're going. Okay, we'll skip. We're going. We're getting a little specific into.
Yeah,
it's one thing to ask him to help with the series. Now we're asking him to help write the sermon.
Every word.
I don't know. I'll answer that line as soon as you sing the national anthem.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, Jake. The second thing I was thinking of is
I would think like a family on mission is a good place to start. Yeah.
Love that. That was your family on mission. I remember when you dropped that in our meeting, back in like 2013 or 14 at some point, and okay, let's do this thing, and just family on mission, like that language. To truth and grace. Just that tension of there's an ancient church. They were, I don't know if it came up in archaeology or they found this inscription, but it was like, it basically said there's a big question of who can participate in the church. And it said above the sanctuary, it said only the righteous may enter here. And the tension of who is church for? I mean, you've talked about this before, like how seriously they took communion in the early church, but then like only the righteous may enter here. On the other side, it's like, man, no perfect people allowed is today's mantra. It's the opposite. Like we're all sinners. This is a hospital. We're all sinners in need of grace. So kind of the open table of communion ideas that most of us practice in church today. So that was just the truth and grace tension that churches, like we love sinners, we welcome them, we want them to come and see.
But if we're ever not offensive, then then we're not really full of truth. You know what I mean? Like everybody should feel that tension. I think every believer, if it's not every week, most weeks should have some level of a piercing of the soul, of a corrective that comes out. So if we're not, you know what I mean?
Maybe that's your mantra. We love to offend everybody.
Yes.
Everyone's welcome because we love to offend everybody.
Yep.
Google that.
Yep.
Totally.
Offense freely given.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Equal offenders. It's number 3. The third one I was thinking of is a chapter or week on the secret weapon, on waiting on the Lord, dependence, basically dependence, God's power versus our power. Our power is making it happen, taking matters into our own hands, so and what does that look like? That subtle difference between, like Peterson was talking about, we talked about in the quote of, leaders that make it happen versus pastors that are aware of what God is doing and follow him, would be kind of in that chapter.
Can I just throw in a little cool example? So we've been waiting and waiting for God to allow us to build this bridge in Zambia for the people of Kabansa. And big project, way above our expertise or ability to do. So long story short, we found this group that's able to build this bridge. When they first showed us the picture of it, astounding. It looks, even though it's a pedestrian bridge, it's a suspension bridge. So it kind of looks like the Golden Gate Bridge. It's not, obviously, but that same, like, whoa, that's what we were supposed to be trying to build. Of course, that's what it would take. Anyway, but here was back on the wait on the Lord. Finally got the price tag. Well, before I ever had the meeting just a couple days ago to hear what the final price tag of this thing was going to be and how much Veritas Iowa City was going to have to come up with it, all that money had come in. And I hadn't asked anybody yet for the money. Like we have been waiting for years and years.
That's awesome.
For that bridge to be done. And, even when I started thinking about, oh, shoot, now I have to go back and figure out how am I going to pay for this? Well, I got to wait to, and God had already done, so there's both that waiting, but then also we don't always get to see it as remarkably as that, you know what I'm saying? And so it was just one more way that I feel like the Zambians continue to teach me along the way. Wow. They've never been anxious. They've never been kicking the dirt. They've just been waiting patiently for the Lord to do. And when he decides to do it, it's like, boom,
this amazing bridge and God's provision, the timing of all that. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. I think in this, I feel this tension, Jake. How would you respond to this? Like, you're in a situation where you're strategizing as pastors and you're having to answer this question, like, our church will plant blank churches in blank amount of years. And you're like kind of the brainstorming and about that topic. Like, how would you respond to that? Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're in a room with some pastors and that's the topic. This is a thing that happened recently where it's just, I'm conflicted by that because I don't know what to do with that. Like strategizing with other pastors about our church will plant blank churches in blank amount of years.
I think it's,
how do you?
Yeah, I think it's okay to have loosely held ambitions, but I mean, even when James is like, hey, be careful to be too definitive on what you're going to do tomorrow.
I'm going to go to this or that city, spend a year there and do this or that.
Yeah, you don't know that. So, I mean, if there's loosely held good ambitions, I think that's okay. One of the things that we've said is we want to raise up pastors who want to plant churches, and we will plant at the pace of our discipleship. So when we've raised up a pastor who's ready to send out, that's when we'll plant. So that could be, boy, it's been like 5 years and now we're ready, or it's been 3 years and we got 3. Like there's no set, like.
So would it be hard for you to answer that question? We will plant blank churches in blank years. How would you fill in those blanks?
I think
you would just ask it different, or you would rephrase it.
I would recommend that it's hard for anybody to answer that question. And the concern would be, you might, I don't remember if this is this podcast or last podcast, you might be tempted to put fruitfulness over faithfulness if you answer that question. Because once you've defined it, like, we will do this in this many years, and circumstances change, and it's not loosely held, because that's the temptation. Once you kind of Mark, I don't know how loosely you're holding it. You may be tempted to make compromises in order to keep the pace that you set. Yeah. But if you're faithful, like, hey, we want to be faithful to raise up church planners.
Yeah. And I think that to the defense of that whole session, I think the intent of it is good. It's like, hey, we're not saying you're going to do that. Like you're committing to that. It's just saying work backwards from that thing. Like what are the steps you would need to take as a church to be a church planting church?
Yeah. And that's helpful.
Yeah.
I still think it's better. Like, what are you doing to raise up church planters? Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Let's talk about how do we disciple and shepherd.
Yeah.
For instance, training them.
Yeah. Because
right. I mean, church theological strength. If that's what they're supposed to do is go out and guard sound doctrine and preach the word and be ready in season, out of season. If that's their prime directive and objective, we should make sure they have every tool in the tool belt and the deep taproot.
There's theological equipping.
Yep. Some heft there.
Yep. So as church plants need church planters. That's what.
Well, I was talking to my brother about this, and he reminded me of a church that he was just like, that reminds me of the slogan that you and I both remember, Mark. It was 5,000 by 2,000. And I was like, yes, I remember that because we lived back in the 1900s.
Yeah, right.
Back in the 90s, as 2000 was getting closer and closer, it was like, how do we get this church to 5,000 people? We've been stalled out at 3,700 for how many years? Like 5,000 by 2,000, and how do we work backwards and get to that? And it's like now, because I remember being in it, and you're just like, I don't know. You're just a sheep in the flock, and you're like, okay, let's do it. That's the goal. Now I just laugh because I think that's hilarious.
It's kind of audacious.
That's it, or is it? Is that why audacious is a good word, but what makes you a little queasy about that?
Well, again, it's putting a little bit too much objectivity onto it, I think. You know what I mean? We're just, as we've talked about, the fruitfulness of many of God's, the greatest heroes that we have of God's company, Old and New Testament, varied immensely in what they got to see in their own mortal life. You know what I mean? And so for us to put that level of achievement and that hard of a numerical number on it seems audacious. Seems like, well, we're way out kicking virtually every other leader in the Bible, to say that's the North Star. That's what I'm shooting for,
I can't picture Peter like, dude, I'm going to get up there and we're going to get 4,000 people by this, or just like, it just seems like it's more
because Peter's a great example. So the first sermon he ever gives has this phenomenal 3,000 people coming to know Christ, right?
Yeah.
From that point on, it goes south, so you know what I mean? But he was as faithful. I mean, you read 2 Peter, his last letter. I mean, he is still calling for faithfulness, leading out in faithfulness. He is calling the church to be the church and to be aggressive as the church. But he would end up dying a martyr's death, with no great band of followers.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
even Peter himself.
So I think that's a very average church thing to do, is to, like, we're not in charge of our destiny and our future, but we're dependent on the Lord, waiting on the Lord, and trying to keep in step with what Jesus, like, I like your language on that, plant churches as we make disciples. And was that, the fourth thing I thought about as a chapter is command number 0. And that's before the 10 commandments, there's something that precedes, you shall have no other gods before me. And it's command 0. It's the command before any of the commands. And it says, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. you shall have no other gods. Like, I love that because before a single command happens, he's reminding them that you are a people saved by grace. Like, I did this thing for you. I brought you out. These commands are just like how you live in my household now in our new country that I'm putting you in. But I did.
So to
this.
put it like, command 0 is
there's no command. It's remembering
you need to be saved by grace.
Yeah. It's done. It's not due.
Yeah. Depend on God's grace.
Don't you love that?
I'm just trying to make it a command. Because I'm thinking like, well, technically that's not a command, but I love command 0.
It's command 0. It's receipt. It's actually that's the punchline.
Yeah, I talked about it this last Sunday, but the Zechariah 3, Joshua the high priest, where I don't know why I'd never seen it before as much, but in that whole scene of him having his filthy clothes removed and festive robes put on and a new turban on his head, and the accuser, pushed away and only commendation, but he is silent and motionless through that entire event. It is purely what God does for him and to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, just that reminder again that's back to commands. Remember, I'm the one that clothes. I'm the one that saves. I'm the one that snatches you out of the fire. I'm I just I love that imagery.
Totally. The last one I was just thinking about is the Psalm, is it 115? Not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to your name be the glory. That kind of the Deuteronomy 8 and 9 riff on, hey, when I do all this stuff, don't say it's our righteousness. He's like, I'm the Lord. I did this.
Yeah.
And you're gonna eat from fig trees you didn't plant and cisterns you didn't dig, and don't think that you did this. And I think about that as maybe the first talk in the new auditorium is just bringing people back to like, we're not building the brand here. We're building a name for the Lord. And just that temptation, I don't know, in that I've mentioned it before, but in that David movie they did, I think it's on Amazon, but Saul says, our greatness, or what is it? Is it God's greatness is our greatness, or our greatness is God's greatness? Like, just confusing.
Yeah.
It's so easy in church world to get confused about. You think that you can convince people that what you're building is God's kingdom when it's really just your own brand. So anyway, just reminding people, don't get on the Veritas hype train. This is not about
So this is a series you want to do when you move into the...
This right before.
Running up to it.
Running up to it.
So that one he just talked about would be the one on the day of the actual movement.
Yeah. So so it'd be through August, and then September 13th is our first Sunday in the new auditorium.
Exciting.
That's the plan. So
all right. Just have you come in.
Yeah, we'll just have Jake come and preach. It would be much better. So, dude,
speaking of that though, Mark, you had so again, this is dated based on when this is coming out, but we just had Veritas Kids. The day before, Mark spoke to all the kids.
Oh, cool.
Okay. The speaker that got up there, her name's Lexi. I was standing in the back watching her teach these children with like my jaw down. Like it was like it.
I think Johnny was telling us about somebody did this amazing job teaching it.
I am not kidding. The illustration, every word, everything about it. And I was like, dang, Mark, you gotta follow that.
Yeah, I had to go after her.
I was seriously like, and he crushed it. I'm sure I wasn't there, but I'm sure he did a great job. Brought out his skateboard, but I was just up there thinking, no, she really. There's people that have a gift for children. Like, even when you're talking about children's ministry and stuff, like finding those gifted teachers that really know how to communicate these deep truths to children. Finding language that is accessible and communicable. It was just
a master class on teaching kids.
That's awesome.
So good.
And James, man, crushed it. Wait, I never found out who won. Who won the big battle, James? There was a battle that
believe it or not, the good guys won.
Woo!
Yeah, pretty predictable.
What's the theme of the?
Well, it was all about light. Jesus is the light of the world. And so we did the skits like light versus darkness. So Star Wars is what we did for the skits. So I spent a good Deal of my week dressed as Luke Skywalker.
James got to be the
Slaying
hero.
evil.
I was a little worried,
the
James.
Dark Lord.
I didn't know if you'd be able to make it to the end, man. I was touch and go.
Yeah.
Who's going to win this thing?
What did Colette say to you, your daughter?
Oh yeah, the day before we made it look, the darkness was gaining strength.
Oh.
So she came up to me after that skit. She's like, "Dad, is the light gonna win?" You're gonna have to wait and see. We really strung them along. But
Yeah, that's
cool.
well done. Yeah. All right. Well, we got our help with the average church, and so.
Okay,
Yeah.
one more thing on the children. Now you got me thinking about kids and all that. So, Jake, I've already told Mark, but I'm telling the whole world. So, my daughter, who's James' wife, Audrey, had a bit of a trial this last week, and she and I had already cried a little bit together and prayed for her. And then, so during the last service, I saw she was in the back. So I went during communion. I went around and sat by her, but in between us was her daughter, Colette, and Colette couldn't quite see the screen for the lyrics. So I was like, "Oh, Colette, come over here a little bit." "Oh, you still?" So I set her up on the chairs, because there was nobody behind us because of the sound booth. So she could fully see the lyrics at that point. She started singing. So I get all emotionally, but now retelling the story so beautifully. Her piercing little just high. Is she 8?
Yeah, she's 8.
Yeah. 8 years old. Just singing to the glory of God on pitch, everything, you know what I mean? And awesome. So on the other side is Aud. She's got some quiet little tears coming down, and I've got Coco, this little angel singing. I mean, I was just like, God loves children, right?
Yeah.
And I just think, we want to be the kind of church that sees that birth of genuine faith, even genuine childlike faith, in those youngest ages, and who knows what they will grow up, what kind of fruitfulness will be born.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was what a delight, man, to have
Have
her.
you-
all of a sudden that she became my worship leader,
Jake, have you had any grandpa moments that like have melted your heart? Where you're just like, this is crazy. I'm Xavier and Ava are having a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, by the time this comes out,
soon after, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. A ton. Yes. It's
wow.
Normally kids are scared of me or cry around me. So it's like this is a kid that likes
which I
me.
get. I cry. Often I see you and I start crying.
So it's like I got a kid that likes. This is awesome.
Oh.
But Obi will come over and he's always wants a tractor ride, and he'll come up and he's like tractor, and he'll like, "Can we tractor ride?" And I'll like act like I don't understand him, like. I don't. What do you mean? Tractor? And I'm like, "Oh, you want to ride the tractor?" And his eyes just light up. Like, yes. So just like those.
So sweet.
Wait, so what's the tractor ride?
On my lawnmower. I mean, it's a suburban tractor.
That is so great.
Although I'm having some insecurities, I'm like, "Do you like me, kid, or just the tractor?"
Right. Exactly.
But it's tons of those.
Do you have a trailer that you can pull him around in or anything, or what?
Yeah. I mean, we just sit him on the lap and do it. And
that's great, dude.
Oh, fun. Yeah. Well, Jake, what else? I mean, what have you been up to the last? I mean, we haven't talked in a long. We're done with the average church conversation now. I'm kind of out of things to talk about. So,
so fill the time, Jake. What have you been up to,
Jake? What do you have? What's the summer looking like for you? Do you get a break from preaching?
Yeah, July. Be off in July. I'm gonna speak at our youth camp coming up at the end of June, so it'll be fun.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Marcy and I had our 25th anniversary. We went and got away a little bit. That was great.
25.
Just kind of write and read and cabin.
What's the anniversary date? What was it?
May 20. We were in Zambia. No, we weren't. We were back by then.
Yeah.
I was gone somewhere else.
On your 25th anniversary?
Well, you don't have to say it like that, Jeff.
No, hold on. I don't know what's worse though, Jake. I took Teresa to Zambia for a 25th wedding anniversary. You talk about a destination. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
So 25th, congratulations, man. That's
that. So, and then in July we'll do family vacation Just got a little Verbo in Wisconsin.
Nice.
So, are you? Yeah. So the preaching break is just July. Yeah. Okay.
You're
cool.
doing right, Mark. You're taking a couple weeks.
I emailed our coordinator and asked how many vacation days I had left, and it was all of them. So that was not great. Need to do a better job of throughout the year getting time, but I'm gonna use them here.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
Taking a few weeks to.
It's interesting because it's not attention anymore, but I'm actually most productive on vacation in different kinds. Like as far as catching up on some reading.
Yeah.
In the summer, in July, I don't preach, but I'll devotionally prepare for the next book study. So we're going to start Ephesians in September.
Oh, wow.
So I'll take, Ephesians commentary and journal and just kind of, work through the different texts.
Do you print it out? How do you, sorry.
And you're calling that vacation? Like you're using vacation to do some of your most productive work as a pastor?
Yeah. Is it vacation?
Yeah. But I'm saying, are you taking...
It's by a lake in a hammock, so...
But is it... Are you do you guys do vacation time?
Yeah.
You do. And are you using that vacation time?
It's blur. When are you not a pastor? I mean, I don't read for fun. So even the books I'm reading are ministry books and get away, but so it's a bit of a blurry line. Are you going to
take Anna Karenina?
Yeah, top of the list.
What do you think about that? Is that, or do you feel that too? Because I'm pressing on you a little bit, but I think that I feel that as well. Like I'm like my time. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna go out on the front porch and I'm gonna read my Bible and
I think it used to be a tension with Marcy and the family when it's like we're on vacation. It's like, are you working? Be present. And it was a harder thing when we had kids that were little,
right?
And it's like, no, be present with your family. Now it's stage of life. It's like, oh yeah, go do your thing, and we'll have dinner together. So so stage of life impacts that.
Yeah, I feel the same. Yeah, that when the children were all under the roof, I wanted to be more guarded of not being preoccupied with something else. But there's something about actually getting away out of your routine, even geographically out of your city.
Yeah.
That just, I don't know, opens your soul up a little bit more, and you're not distracted by the urgency of what today would have been or something.
Yeah. And the type of work, like I'm not answering emails or trying to keep, it's more just reading, planning, studying.
But then do you ever think that that's kind of the main work we should be doing more of?
Totally.
So,
yes.
Yeah. I think that's a tension. I think that's one of the ways that our conversation last episode about what is a pastor. I think that is the problem. Like we feel, we have to take vacation to do more of the
contemplative work.
Well, I just started a book, so I haven't formed my thoughts on it. It's a secular book. It's called Slow Productivity, and just kind of
Oh man, when you said I just started a book, I thought you meant writing.
Oh no.
You're reading a book.
Yeah.
Okay,
Slow
sorry.
productivity.
Yeah, it's just kind of when it comes to, I think you call it like knowledge-based profession. Like you're thinking, how do you measure productivity? Because it's not like you're on an assembly line and it's like this many hours we accomplished this. It's harder to measure productivity. And he talks about the opening of the book is kind of this illustration of a guy that wrote a piece, and he spent the first 2 weeks just kind of laying on a picnic table, staring up at these trees, trying to collect some thoughts. And, it took a long time, but the end product was really impactful. So I'm too early to kind of make some conclusions, but how do you measure productivity?
Right.
I think I could say I work 70-hour weeks and we get all this done. But at the end of the day, if it's, hey, I preached 30 really good sermons that had an impact on our church, that's greater productivity than a big checklist of and then what does it take to do that? Okay, are you guarding your study time? Are you getting away to give it proper thing? Like, what's going to make the best impact? So I'm just thinking through some of those things right now.
Well, as you're talking, I'm thinking through that too, because I think that is the tension of pastoral ministry is you feel pressure to not do the things that you should actually be doing.
Yeah.
Like we can't, you know what, we got to raise up people to serve tables because we got to be devoted to prayer and the ministry of the word. And I think those often, like Jesus often withdrew to lonely places to pray. I think that the hammock and lake thing, it feels like I have to take vacation to do this, when really it's like that's, you know, like should
your most productive or fruitful outcome. You know, when you look at the ministry, and I'm trying to navigate just because there is, especially when a church is at a certain size where just things got to get done, but you also get to a place where you have a bigger team that can do some of those things. Like, okay, what's the best use of my time? I think preaching good sermons, being with people. So if it's like, hey, I'm going to have breakfast with this group every month, I'm going to be here and study so just trying to navigate and rethink productivity in a different lens than just a task list, but like what's the best stewarding of time for the greatest impact for people in the kingdom of God.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if I can make an argument that involves more lake time, I think
that's always nice.
It's always nice. Yeah.
Gotta be.
Jake, are you working on any books right now?
Yeah. I got my problem's the same as yours. Like I got a handful of ideas up in the air.
Is the book Embracing Different in the? That
took a back burner to. I think you had me read a chapter on this podcast of the.
Was that Courage?
It was. It was. I wrote a book on, or a manuscript for, church leaders, based off of Paul's speech in Acts 20.
Yeah.
And then I just set it aside. And actually somebody emailed me that listened to the podcast saying,
oh, wow.
Hey, is that done? And I was like, yeah, no.
That paragraph is.
Paragraph.
Sitting on my computer.
Yeah. So I was like, I should finish that. So right now, I just finished it on our 25th anniversary vacation. And Johnny's doing some editing.
Nice.
Wow.
For it. So
do you know what it'll be called?
I think it's How I Lived Among You, because that's what Paul says.
Right.
And it's just kind of looking at his example to this is how I lived among you. And there's like 21, 22 kind of traits that pull out to, and then with some discussion questions. I think it's like How I Lived Among You. This is a working title. You guys critique it. Lessons for church leaders and everyone else. Because it's a private speech Paul gives to the Ephesian elders, and it's in the Bible for everybody to read.
Right.
So I want just the average church member to be like, what should I look for in my leaders? And what should I be praying for my leaders? So I love it if it's like something the average church member reads alongside it. So we'll see.
See, this is this is the thing about Jake. Dude just finished a book, and we get this far. I have to ask him a very specific, pointed question for him to get that out, that he just finished this book.
Well, the manuscript part, it's not ready. Yeah, when I write
I've been talking about books that I haven't written for every podcast.
Well, when it comes to me, it's the editing part that's so long, because normally writers say, Jake, I think I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
I help you say that. So we'll do that.
Well, let's do a writing retreat. We gotta do some readings and do some stuff. But then will you get to after that's done, will you get to is Embracing Different coming, or is there still?
Yeah, Embracing Different. I got that outlined. I want to do that. And then Lessons from Rich Idiots. I got an outline for like, what do we learn from the rich young ruler and the rich fool? So I want to do that.
Cool.
Wow.
So, that's awesome.
And then I, on my own, just fun, I got another fiction story.
Oh, come on. How are the sales of the
terrible
Unusual and Adventurous Raising of Charlie
Finney?
Yeah,
I think I've found like, hey, stick in your lane, right? More pastor books. I don't know.
Really? It's not getting
I don't know.
It's not received very well?
I don't know.
Well, I'm your biggest hype man.
I know you like it. I appreciate that.
Hey,
so good.
I love
I am really proud of it.
Yeah.
Jake, I just still think that it's an issue. I'm on this thing right now of thinking through getting on Substack and thinking through. We listened to did you end up listening to the Ben Sass Not Dead Yet? The guy that has and I think he either started Substack or that idea or was a pioneer in it.
I get it. Maybe this is like when you're in like the way journalism is, and it's like, I want to hear from this voice, and it's the way to monetize it. I think that makes sense. What about when it comes to a pastor though? Do you feel like, hey, I'm shepherding these people, but you need to pay to hear what I have to say? Does that?
Yeah. Well, you don't have to charge. I think if you are.
Oh, you don't? You can just have it open.
No, you can. Like Johnny, your daughter has a Substack that's free.
You betcha.
You bet she does.
I knew that. I knew that. Yeah, she's. Yeah, I get updates.
Jake, no, but you're further along than me. I don't even know what a Substack is.
It's a pretty cool thing. My son Moses has one too. I actually have one. I've just never, because he's like got me on it, and I never have written anything on it.
I'm this like got into that little rabbit hole, and I do think that the thing that I feel is I want to, the stuff that I've enjoyed from you guys, like content that's created, you want to share it. You want people to have access to things. The only way people know about things or is, somebody, Desiring God came out and promoted.
Would it be the same way that some of the books, especially, 2-3 generations ago, started off as individual segments in a newspaper, and then they collected them together and made, like Screw Tape Letters or whatever. Like, is Substack, could you do that? Like put individual chapters and then at the conclusion, put them all together and
I think so. Yeah, you can structure it how you want. And it's not all just, sometimes monetizing it is a way for people saying like, I want to support what you're doing. Keep doing it. It doesn't always have to be like closed wall. But.
I don't mind that. Like if I have somebody that I want to follow and I'm like, yeah, I'll pay $5 a month for your or whatever, like even Johnny, dude, I'd be like, I don't know, $3-5 a month to read her stuff.
Yeah.
If she wrote consistently, I'd be like, I think I'd be in for that. And also wanting to support her and what she's doing. So I don't think it has to be you are
motivating me to go back and get on because I like already got it laid out. I just haven't put any articles in it or let anybody know I have it.
Well, Jake,
it's called Barbecue for the Soul.
Of course it is.
What about Pastries for the People?
Back to our sponsor.
I got too many gluten-free listeners, so I can.
Oh, please. Jake's on a health. He's targeting the health industry, the people.
Yes, he is.
The healthy.
I know my audience.
Oh, Jake. All right.
What are you working? How's the Average Dad book?
Average Dad is my goal is this summer to finish it. So
I heard. I hope I can say this.
I don't know if you can.
We'll find
Just
out.
say it.
Drew finished his manuscript.
James, are you?
Yeah, I'm helping him edit that.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, it should be this fall.
Yeah,
coming out. It's really good.
Yeah,
Drew Stevenson. Awesome. Yeah, can't wait for that book. He's such a great.
Yeah, he was telling me a little bit about it.
Yeah,
I want to read that.
And Drew, so I'm so bummed that next, like our writing retreat in July, you'll be out of pocket. So won't be on. I think we'll hit up maybe a podcast with Drew.
What if you end up becoming a guest on this show because we just keep finding times that you can't make it for the recording?
Oh. I think I could live with that.
Being a guest, no. we won't tolerate
Mark
that.
always said like we don't want to start the treadmill where we just have to keep up with it, but so we can rotate.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Dude. All right. Well,
by the way, what's crazy, Jake, is there's a window behind Jake in my study. And as he's talking, there were times the wind was whipping that little tree around out there so hard. I was like, focus. Because all I could do is.
I thought a tornado was coming through.
I didn't think anything of it because that's the look I see every Sunday. Focus.
That deer in the headlights kind of gazing off into space.
The head drop.
Okay. Well, Jake, let's make Jake do the benediction this time. So close with a good word.
I'll do this.
It's a nice looking Bible, by the way.
Thank you. All right. Ephesians 3, starting verse 14. For this reason I bow my knees before the Father, from whom every family in heaven and earth is named, that according to the riches of his glory he may grant you to be strengthened with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to comprehend with all the saints what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled with all the fullness of God.
Amen.
Amen. It's a good word as we close. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the journey and the conversation. So thanks for joining us. Hope you'll come next time. We'll be, I think, recording from the cabin up north. So with Drew, so that'll be fun. But hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time.